Oh yeah, 1 2 mic check testing 1 2. Hopefully you guys can hear me.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
I can hear
Oh,
you.
sorry for the difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We're on a new platform, and I don't think it was a good idea to start on a new platform.
Good.
A la máquina,
Should
new
have
tricks
practiced,
for.
huh?
I mean, it's not good to practice on an artist, though, man. I mean, I think Kicker Daddy is gonna not come on to the New Mets Creative Talk Show no more. After he's gonna be like, New Mets Creative Talk Show, you need to have your shit together, man.
Yeah, it was an exciting evening already.
Right?
But we're here. We're here now. It's all good.
I don't know who the Facebook user is. Say saludos, man, a la máquina. Hopefully we're live. I mean, at least the good thing is we're live on Roku TV again. I mean, no, just kidding.
Hi, it's Rick. Hello, Rick Villa from the Valley. I just met him recently when I went to go see Kicker Daddy Legacy recently in Mission. So he's always supporting Kicker Daddy Legacy and a lot of country artists.
Wow.
Nice.
No, that's pretty cool because let me see. No, that's pretty cool that you get to see all these people, right, Mary?
Yes, I love it. I know, and he got to play with Lucky Joe this past about 2 weeks ago that I saw him. So that was really exciting. He got to perform with Lucky Joe. So
Wow.
That sounds like fun.
yes, it was good. It was good. Hopefully, it's the first of many.
Right?
Yeah, but they play regularly all in the Valley. So if you're in the RGV in the 956 area, make sure you follow them on Facebook and Instagram, all their social media.
That's pretty.
And Molly, I think it's Bloom says she loves Kick Your Daddy Legacy.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's exactly what I'm talking, man. How y'all doing out there, man?
Yeah, that's a lot of history right there. You know, they've been playing since I remember when I was a little girl. I was 15 years old when I first went to see Country Rollin', the grandfather. So they're really the first family of country music. This is where it all started.
That's awesome.
Tejano country, yeah, Chicano country. So, are we able to get Renee back already, or?
Oh yeah, we
She's
got our
still
special guest. We
backstage.
got
I know
Renee
that
in the house, man.
I was like, I hope we didn't lose him.
Can y'all hear me?
Hey, we can hear you perfectly fine, brother.
Awesome. How y'all doing?
Yes.
We
Thank
are
you.
well. Unfortunately, off our new program here, we're getting all the bells and whistles that we.
Yes.
It happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, but it's all good. I think the picture looks really clear and everything.
It
So
does.
that's awesome.
Well, thanks for having
like
me
it.
on tonight.
No, we want to just say thank you, Rennie, for taking time out of your busy schedule. I mean, because it's Thursday, man. I mean, some people don't work on Fridays, so I mean, for you to sit here with us on a Thursday evening with us, man, how cool is that?
It is cool, man. It's cool. I was looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to this for a while, man. I kept talking to Mary Ellen on and off,
Yes.
and I'm excited. I'm glad to be on. Thank you all for having me once again.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Yes. So
Nice to meet y'all.
Renee,
Likewise.
let's start off like for the people that aren't familiar with
Okay.
which I don't think a lot of people don't know, but tell us a little history about you, how you got your how you started in country music, and where you got your
Okay, well, my grandfather was the founder of what used to be called Chicano country music. Then in the industry through the years, it's changed to Tejano country music here in Texas. Before anybody ever sang country music in Spanish or rancheras to a country music melody or style, my granddad was the one who started that, and
Wow.
he started getting really going in the early 70s when my mom was about 12. It turned into a family band, and she started playing bass. So she started, the sister started, and the brother started, and they were going and gaining popularity throughout South Texas and Mexico and the bordering states. And I was just born into it. You know, my mom, she played right up until about a week before she delivered me. You know, so I was rocking in her belly, you know, and then when I was born, I'd be running around on stage. I don't know if I sent some of the pictures where I'm laying down on monitors, hugging them, and you know, during sound check and whatnot. But I grew up in the business, and when I was about 16, my granddad, one of my aunts, my Aunt Wendy, who used to play the piano, she had retired from music for a little while, and my granddad said, "Well, come on, you're going to play the piano." And I had already been playing since, you know, when I was about 11, I started coming into music on my own and learning and practicing and playing. So I would listen to the way my aunt played the piano, a very country western, honky tonk kind of Floyd Kramer, if you know who Floyd Kramer is, style. And that's what I fashioned my style from. You know, it was a driving force with my granddad's music for, you know, a long time. So that's how I came in when I was about 16 years old.
So, and you said that they were playing since the 1970s. Is that correct?
Well, my granddad was playing way before that. He started out with a group of his friends, and they were called Country Rollin' and the Valley Boys, and they played, you know, honky tonk in all the little honky tonks here in Texas. But when he started to kind of gain momentum, and when the family came in, is when it really took off, and the industry noticed, and they were signed to Falcon Records, ARV International. You know, they released their first album, I think, like in 1975. My granddad had been doing it since he was young, you know. So, but the family came in around the 70s, in the early 70s, and that's when they became the Country Rollin' Band with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing that you grew up in that environment, seeing the family play the instruments, you picking up the instruments, and I imagine that maybe your kids are going to be doing the same thing.
Well, I have one son, Brandon Ramsey, and I want to say hi, son, I love you. He just turned 18 and he's going to college, but the bug bit him a couple of years back, and he actually put a band together with some of his friends, and they're real big in FFA, you know, and a couple of years back they made it all the way to state, the FFA national, you know, a meeting. They made it all the way to state, performing in the talent portion, and he picked up the bass, you know, on his own, just like my mom, and I gave him a few pointers, and he took off, and he's a very talented young man. He plays guitar, lead guitar, rhythm guitar, bass, drums. He sings too, you know, so he's coming into his own.
Well, congratulations, because
Thank you.
That's a lot of accomplishments for somebody that young.
Yeah. Well, it definitely runs in the blood, and you know, in the family. We were blessed, you know, we were blessed that God gave us this talent. So it's in an abundance for us, and we're blessed.
So, Renee, how did you all come up with the name Kicker Daddy Legacy?
Well, my granddad passed away October 18th in 2012, and we took some time off. We were still performing up until a few years before he, you know, I want to say, I think around 2000, I had started with my brothers. We were Country Rollin's grandsons, and we went by the name of Sons of the Rio Grande because my granddad was trying to retire a little bit, you know, so he said, y'all do your thing for a while. So we did that for a while. And then we took time off. He got sick. He passed away. You know, nature took its course. And we spent our time taking care of both he and my grandmother. And we took some time off after he passed away. But shortly before he passed away, we had a talk one day. And he said that he wanted me to keep it going and to keep his legacy alive after he was gone. So I promised him I would, and we took some time off to grieve after he passed away, but I decided, you know what, it's time to do this, and we got together. At that time, it was still my mom, Judy, and my aunt, Gori, and I had a brother, Matthew, and one of my cousins, Mike, and we were going on for a little while, and we were going as the Country Rollin' Band, but we decided to change the name to honor my granddad in another way. You know, we'll always be the Country Rollin' Band.
Exactly.
But we decided to change the name, and we went to our fan base and we asked, and everybody unanimously was like, Kicker Daddy Legacy. So it was our supporters and our fans who actually came up with the name. Because my
And it's
granddad
nice,
was also
catchy
known.
name.
Yeah, he was also known as the Kicker Daddy. I don't know if you all are familiar with Romeo Sanchez. He had a television show back in the day, and when in my granddad's heyday, they made an appearance on it. He interviewed him. He goes, "Pues, country, tú eres el Kicker Daddy porque tienes las muchachas ahí. You have the girls there with you. You know, it was a family thing." So he dubbed him the Kicker Daddy because of the family, but in the same aspect, he said, "You're the daddy of kicker music here for us, for the Mexicanos aquí." So it's got a kind of double meaning, you know, Kicker Daddy in both ways. But we go by Kicker Daddy Legacy now.
I remember growing up in the valley, you know, I remember when I was in school, you know, you would name people by how they dressed or whatever. Or, you know, that one's a cholo, that one's a kicker. So that's, you know, that's the name.
Well, that's what I fondly refer to our followers and our supporters and our fans as kickers. So whenever I post anything, you'll see me say, "Good morning, kickers." And, you know, it was a way of life. It is a way of life for many years. Like it.
Is it kickers and kickettes?
I just say kickers. I just say kickers for both.
In general.
In general, everybody's a kicker.
Exactly. And then Renee, so are you all just mostly singing your granddad's songs, or do you have?
Well, we cover a lot of songs that my granddad had hits with, like country roller music. I mean, a lot of those songs were written by other people, and then my granddad would write English parts, or he wrote his own songs. But going as the Kicker Daddy Legacy, you can't show up to a gig and play George Strait all night long, or you know, Alan Jackson or anything. I mean, we do a lot of that music in our repertoire, but when you show up to a performance as Kicker Daddy Legacy, everybody who's there wants to hear Kicker Daddy music, country roll music. So
they expect that.
You know, aim to please. Yeah, they expect that. So
yes,
there's times where I'll yell out, "What do y'all want to hear next?" And I'll yell out, "Y'all want to hear some George Strait?" No, we want to hear El Quelite, country rolling. You know, do me some more country rolling. So we're blessed with that.
I love El Quelite. That's one of my favorites. I was like, I don't know, you know, what it is about that song. I just love it. And, you know, whether it's you singing it, or I think Eli La Reina sings it too. So,
yeah.
Like,
Hen Dog, is there any way that we can hear that song?
Hen Dog, is it?
I'm just looking to you guys.
I know that it's on social media. It's on digital streaming platforms as Country Roll and Band. We're getting ready to release it as Kicker Daddy Legacy. But just a quick little story. A couple of weeks ago, I did a show. I got to open for the first time and share the stage with Lucky Joe. And we did our set, and Mesteño did their set, and Lucky Joe headlined. And he called me up there during his set, and we actually ended up doing that song. And man, we had a lot of fun doing that. So.
Yeah,
that sounds like fun.
Most definitely, and it was beautiful. It turned out to be a great hit, especially on my Facebook, because I posted it. It has over like 35,000 views, which is kind of hard. I usually can get that like on TikTok, even though it's a little bit hard, but on Facebook it did really well. A lot of people loving it. Yeah, I think we all still love the older. You know, the older music.
Yeah, El Quelite definitely is a fan favorite. We get requests for that all the time, and people have asked, "How come you haven't recorded?" Because we did put a tribute out to my granddad in 2016, tribute to the legend, and we did a bunch of songs that he had hits with, like Hace un año, Linda Mujer, La Adelita, what else?
Adelita, oh my God.
Oh, yes.
So people are like, why haven't you released that one yet? So especially now with all the attention we're getting with that video that Mary Ellen posted with Lucky Joe and I singing it, people are like, man, when are you going to release that song? So we're working on it. We get it out soon.
Hopefully really soon. I know. Yes. Hopefully that works out. So, and let me ask you, Renee, which is like, as far as like the fans, which song of your grandpa's is their favorites?
Of the fans, like favorites of the fans or favorites of mine?
Favorites of the
fans
fans.
are Linda Mujer. We cannot do a show without singing Linda Mujer.
Okay, sing it. Hey, now you started. Okay, sing a little piece of it then.
Que no me llore, mamacita de mi vida, no. Tengo que buscar una linda mujer. Que no me llore, mamacita de mi vida, no. Tengo que buscar una linda mujer. You know, it's an old song. You know, my granddad kind of did it his style and changed it up a little bit. But that's definitely a fan favorite. Los Laureles, ay que laureles tan verdes. I mean, we do it country rolling style, you know. And of course, songs like Hace un año and El Quelite. La Mesera is a song that my granddad recorded later on in his career, like right at the end, and it was a big hit too. So we get those are fan favorites, you know.
Which one is a family favorite?
Oh man, there's so many. And like if you ask Gori, she'll say No Volveré is her favorite one, and she actually recorded that. Oh my God,
that's a beautiful song.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's available on all digital streaming platforms as well. I know my mom likes songs like Me Persigue Tu Sombra. My granddad recorded that in the early 70s. My favorites change all the time. I have a love-hate relationship with some songs because we sing them all the time.
I know the feeling.
Like, sometimes I was just telling Gori the other night, I was like, if I have to sing Linda Mujer one more time, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And we laugh about it. We do it, yeah. So some weeks I love it, and some weeks I'm like, I don't want to hear it again. But
hey, how about Allá del Rancho Grande?
Yeah, we did that one. We just played at Janie Lounge in Raymondville. We had not been to Willacy County since before my granddad passed away. Our last show was in Willacy County as the country rolling band with my granddad. And we used to play at this place called Vivas Arena. And it was also a bar, a honky-tonk. And now his son has J&E Lounge, you know, and he called and he's like, you want to come out and play for us? And we did. And let me tell you, we did Rancho Grande. All night long, it was electrifying. The people in Willacy County treated us really well, man. They were really into it. They were hooting and hollering. And when we sang Rancho Grande, everybody was like, wow, like it was just really electrifying. And I don't really do that song a lot. For whatever reason, we just don't do it all the time. But I was feeling it that night. And my lead guitarist, Eddie, said, hey, why don't we do Rancho Grande? I was like, let's do it. And well, it went over really well. So that's another one that people are requesting for us to re-record and put out on a new project. So that one in El Quelite will be out there.
What is your favorite memory with you and your grandpa?
Oh man, I have so many. You know, my granddad was like my best friend. You know, we were very, very close because of the music. Even before the music, when I was little, you know, my grandmother and he always had me with him. You know, so. I don't know. I want to say memories like on stage. There are many of them, you know. They were always good times, you know, on stage. And I was always behind the piano, but sometimes I would come out and I'd play the rhythm guitar. And I remember one time we were playing in Falfurrias for a public dance, and for whatever reason, my granddad stood up and started dancing around, and I was kind of dancing around too. I think we were playing some like little rockabilly thing, like the twist or something, you know, and just memories like that, you know. Like I have a lot of great memories of him on stage, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It was like breathing, you know. It was like second nature to us. Just we were always together making music. We'd get in the bus, we'd get on the road, and those were my favorite times. Always, you know, on the road traveling from gig to gig.
Not only that, you know? I mean, you growing up in that environment. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of memories, a lot of great moments, a lot of learning moments as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, growing up, I didn't realize that he was country rolling. You know, he was always my granddad, and. A couple of years ago, my lead guitarist Eddie, he's like my brother. He's a really good friend of mine. He asked me one time. He says, "When did you realize how big your granddad was?" And I told him, "You know, brother, I never realized how big my granddad was. He was just always my granddad." But I told him I can't even answer that. And then a few days after that, I got a notification from our YouTube channel, and somebody had commented, "Este hombre era chingón," and it was like a comment from somebody in Portugal, you know. And I messaged Eddie back a screenshot of that, and I told him, you know, I was today years old when I realized that my granddad was chingón, you know. And that always sticks with me. And that happened maybe about 6-7 years ago. But growing up, he was always just my granddad. Yeah, being on stage, it was like no stage fright ever, nothing. I mean, we lived on stage, and we forget sometimes that we're on stage and we're a family.
Exactly.
So sometimes, we start bickering a little bit, or like we start kind of going back and forth, or like we're always having a great party, it's always a party. So we kind of forget that everybody is out there watching us when we're playing. And the number one thing that we get from our fans is that, wow, man, you come down to us and you're on like our level. And I'm like, there ain't no levels here. We're all on the same level. Nobody's above anybody, right? But we always get that comment how everybody feels like our gigs, especially when they're up close and personal, like in the smaller venues. It always feels like a homecoming, like a gathering, like a family gathering. And I'll talk to, and Mary Ellen can tell you, I'll talk to her out in the crowd in the middle of a song or in between songs, like if we were at home at a barbecue or a pachanga or something, and that's just the rapport that we have. And my granddad was like that. So I guess I did learn a lot from him, watching him in the industry and watching him on stage. I have memories back when I was like 2 or 3 years old, so
I told Rennie, I said the first time I saw his grandfather playing, it was at the Villa Real, and that place was packed. It was, I mean, there was, it was, wall to wall packed.
And
that was one of the biggest places right there in the valley.
Well, you know that my granddad and the band, the Country Rollin' Band, they hold the record for 3 consecutive sold-out performances back-to-back, 3,500 plus, And I know Nano Ramirez had said several times that they purposely brought acts down, and tried to break that record. But my granddad, it's no longer there. It's now Harley Davidson, but my granddad and the family went down in history as being the only ones to pack it in 3 consecutive nights sold-out performances. So.
That is awesome.
I know. And so where do you see, like, now I feel like the Tejano country has really grown. Do you feel that way too, or that
I see especially right now, there's a lot of Tejano artists that are recording country style songs, or like Tex-Mex country, it's kind of like a hybrid. I know Grupo Vidal's doing that right now. They're putting country with their style, and it sounds great. I went out to the show and I saw them a while back, and they blew me away. And I've known them for years, in the business. But I see a lot of Tejano artists doing country songs here and there, and that's basically what happened back in the day with my granddad.
Exactly.
Roberto Pulido recorded country songs, and Little Joe and a lot of artists, and then there were a lot of bands that came after my granddad that tried to do the same thing. A lot of times he was imitated but never duplicated.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
A good one. Yes.
And so, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You mentioned something about the music changing. It keeps on transitioning, and we're getting new sounds now. Are you working on anything that a surprise for us? Something that you're working on, a sound or a creation that you're.
Okay, so I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag here.
Okay, good.
There's a band that, let's see if y'all can guess, right? But there's a band that, like, on TikTok, they became TikTok famous, and they just exploded from South Texas, and they're like all over the place, right? Well, they did a song with another artist, and I love the song. So I was in the studio in December, and our drummer, we were recording what we released in our single in January called Llorar, Llorar, Cry and Cry Again. And he says, you know what would be a good song to do country? And I knew what he was going to say, because I'd already been thinking about it. And he's like, Frágil by Yaritza and Grupo Frontera.
Exactly.
And I told him, I said, bro, I was thinking that. So I left the studio that night, and I came home to my little home studio, and I started working on it. And it's got that Texas country vibe, like kind of like Randy Rogers, In My Arms Instead, kind of, And I've been working on this song for months, and I'm just right around the corner. One of my good buddies, Late Steel Guitar, he plays with, they used to be called, they went by the name Mike and the Boom Pies, a country act that travels all over the world. And he did steel guitar, and some of my friends came in and helped, my mom, my aunt, and we're working on the vocals right now to put the finishing touches, and then I'm going to send it off to be mixed and mastered. But I hadn't told anybody except for everybody who was in the circle, right? So now it's out of the bag, Mary Ellen.
Okay,
And
good.
Mary
I
Ellen,
know. Believe me, I've been
she-
pushing. I've been
she has
pushing.
been on my ass. She's been on my ass for months. She's like, when are you going to get that song out? So I've put little teasers. I usually do it on Snapchat because that goes away like in 24 hours, right? So I'll put little teasers. And when I posted like not even a 20-second clip of that song, everybody bombarded me. They're like, when are you going to release that? That song is fire. So hopefully with God's will, everything will work out and it'll do good for us, you know.
Well, the
It's
cat is
not your
definitely out of the bag now.
Definitely. So
Now
it's
it's
not
back.
your typical country rolling. It's not your typical country rolling style song. It's a little bit more progressive. It's a little bit country, but I'm not just country rolling style. I mean, we've got we do a plethora. And if you listen to our tribute album, it's not your typical sounding country rolling either. Like if you listen to country rolling stuff, and then you listen to that, it is Tex-Mex and it is the Tejano country, but it is a lot more country and mainstream, you know. And it's
Can
still
you
staying
give
true
us-
to our roots
Can you give us a sneak peek?
of I don't even have it right now. Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I will come back and give you
All right.
something. You know
like
what?
a deal.
Actually, I put a little snippet, Mary Ellen, if you can find that on social media.
Okay.
Of the music of that. Let me see real quick. Let me see if I can find it. But while we're looking for it, I think it's great. I mean, I think everything I do is great. Sometimes it's hit or miss, right? But I really
Yes,
the
it
feedback that I've
is.
gotten, the feedback that
I'm
I've
sure
gotten
I
from-
have it on my phone somewhere.
Yeah,
But I was thinking.
it's on my Facebook page. It's on the Kicker Daddy page. I posted it. It says new music coming soon. It's just a little clip, and I think I'm wearing a cowboy hat or something. It's the cover. I'm doing everything on my own. Like even the cover, I'm designing the cover and everything. So
Nice.
I'm real proud. I take a lot of pride in what I do. You know, I always want to kind of
Yes.
try to surpass what we
And-
did the time before.
And a lot of
Exactly.
people don't realize that it's a lot of work, especially if you're doing everything. It's a lot of work to do that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We were always used to just getting you paid to get into a studio and record whatever the company wanted, and they handled everything: the mixing, the mastering, the design of the cover, the concept, and they told us what to do, right? But when we decided to release this tribute album in 2016 on our own, I didn't realize what the hell a recording label puts into it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of legwork. It's a lot of work. So,
It sure is.
you know.
Yes, it is. It takes,
It
you
takes
know,
us
and
it takes us a little bit longer, but we're getting there.
yeah,
So,
Rennie
you-
really is a perfectionist. He's not going to put anything out that he doesn't feel 100% comfortable that it's good quality, right?
Well, you know, right? Because you know, I look at it on the side of not being a musician, like being somebody who loves music also, and I love other artists, and I like to support other artists and local artists. You know, so I love quality. You know, and I am a little bit critical when it comes to that. Like I'll be like, man, that could have been done better, or oh, that, you know what I mean. But especially with us, like because a lot of times you're only paid to go in and record, and they take care of stuff. Sometimes there's been times where we've been hung out to dry. Like the album concept looks like a 3-ring circus, you know, or the quality of the sound. I mean, I've gone round and round with producers that I've been dropped from labels because I will not settle for anything less than the best, you know? So that's just how
And-
it's got to be, you know? I
and
want
it is
to do
true.
our fans proud.
It is true that sometimes we're our own worst critic.
Right. Well, that did happen when we were working on the tribute project back in 2016. We worked on that for about 2 years, and we went back and we recut vocals 3 or 4 times, and then I went back and we mixed it 2 or 3 times until Gordy and my mom and my family were like, it sounds great like that. We could be here all day long, forever trying to perfect it, but we've got something great, so just let it go. And I have overdone it sometimes and gone back and been like, shit, you know, I should have left it alone, you know. So it's always good to have somebody there to kind of guide you, even though you're sometimes running the show. Like I produced the whole album. I told everybody how to sing, how to play, what not to do, and I'm not a recording engineer, but I know how I wanted to sound. So I sat there with a really good friend of mine in the studio, and I just told, you know, like, I don't know how to make it sound like this, but this is how I wanted to sound. And he did a great job. Charlie Vela did an excellent job coming across in the mix and the mastering for that project.
Yes,
Well,
yes, and you know,
congratulations on that.
and Renee does a lot of his own, you know, especially nowadays. A lot of these artists are more. They're not going with the big record or record labels because there's not really very many big ones. You know, but you know, most of the time they're doing their own stuff, their own, you know, covers or you know anything that you
Right.
can do to promote yourself. And I am blessed to be able to work with Rennie and his family, and it's a beautiful family. They've made me feel part of their family.
Oh,
So
you definitely are, and you. I just want everybody to know that Mary Ellen does above and beyond for us as far as promoting and radio promoting and the way we met, you know, it was meant to be, and we love her. She is part of the family, and we're not letting go of you, Mary Ellen.
I know I'm not going anywhere. Believe me,
That's
I
great.
said. But meanwhile, I'm still trying to find that video. But meanwhile, Hen Dog, do you think we can have you play? I sent you a video from YouTube, and it was a clip. It says Kicker Daddy Legacy, and this was something I recorded at the CMA of Texas performance. You see it?
Let's talk about that too.
I would like to hear the
That
story.
was so much fun. That was so much fun. I enjoyed
you
that place. Go ahead.
Do you want
Go
to play
ahead.
the clip? Do you want to play the clip and then we'll talk about it
Okay.
afterwards, or how do you want to do it?
Let me get it over here. I'm over here.
Since
So
he's still trying to learn this new this new
So
program.
we were blessed to have been invited to last year October, and get a load of this. It was on my grandfather's death date, the awards show, the CMAs of Texas, the Country Music Association of Texas Awards, invited us to perform, and also we were given the what was it? How was it called, Mary Ellen? The Lifetime Achievement Award, the Hispanic Heritage Lifetime Achievement
Wow.
Award,
Yes.
honoring my granddad as the founder of Tejano Country Music.
And I bet you a lot of
So-
people didn't know that he was the founder of
I did not know that, but now I do.
Yes. Yeah, a little history.
Yeah, well, it was a great experience. I mean, it was a whirlwind. We went in the night before, and they had the pre-mixer, and we met a lot of people, and we did radio and interviews and whatnot, and then we performed some acoustic stuff, and then had a few drinks, and then went to bed for the next day. But man, let me tell you, I was a little scared. I was actually a little nervous when we took the stage, because we were allotted, I think, 3 songs, right, Mary Ellen? We did 3 songs, I'm thinking.
3
or 4.
songs.
But they're bilingual, right? But I chose one that was completely in Spanish, Los Laureles.
Yes.
And that was the first. There was an opener before us, and then we did our parts. We were given 20 minutes. And when we do Los Laureles live, I started kind of like Selena starts Como La Flor, like real slow with the crescendos and the shimmers and the shines, right? So I started off like, I can only this time, there it is, right? And everybody's kind of right. So we're doing that part before we come in full band. And I look out into the crowd, and everybody kind of, I was like, oh man, it looks kind of iffy. They're like, what is this, right? And as soon as we come in full band with the honky tonk walking bass,
They
everybody
loved it.
started hollering and screaming and whistling, and they received us really well. All the artists were on the second floor on their mezzanine around the bandstand, just hollering, "Get it, boy, get it!" You know, they received us very well. We made a lot of friends, artists, met some artists that we didn't know, and some that we already did, and it was a big party. It was a big fun time. I'm blessed that we got.
Is
the
this
opportunity
video
to
up
do
on
that.
YouTube?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Mary Ellen
It is?
posted.
Did
them
you get
on
it?
YouTube.
Hand on.
I'm downloading it right now. So
It's on YouTube.
So we can stretch a little. We can stretch a little bit more, right? While it's downloading. I can talk all night long. So you're gonna all have to stop.
well,
me,
I'm gonna take a short commercial break, man, and I'm
Okay.
gonna play this one, man, and then I'm gonna see if that video will download real quick, man. See if I
Okay.
can get it to download, man. It goes a little bit of something like this, man.
Ay, que laureles tan verdes piensas abandonarme, mejor quitarme la vida. Alza los ojos a verme, si no estás comprometida. Eres rosa de Castilla, que solo en mayo se ve. Quisiera hacerte un envite, pero la verdad no sé si tienes quien te lo evite. Mejor me separaré. Eres mata de algodón, que vives en el capullo. Ay, qué tristeza me da cuando te llenas de orgullo y ver a mi corazón enredado con el tuyo. Por ahí va la despedida, chinita por sus quereres. La perdición de los hombres son las benditas mujeres. Aquí se acaban cantando los versos de los laureles. Eres rosa de Castilla, que solo en mayo se ve. Quisiera hacerte un envite, pero la verdad no sé si tienes quien te lo evite. Mejor me separaré. Eres mata de algodón, que vives en el capullo. Ay, qué tristeza me da cuando te llenas de orgullo de ver a mi corazón enredado con el tuyo. Por ahí va la despedida, chinita por sus quereres. La perdición de los hombres son las bonitas mujeres. Aquí se acaban cantando los versos de los laureles.
Wow, that's Kicker Daddy Legacy for those covers, man. That's right, man. Parting it down with Kicker Daddy Legacy, Rennie Rolling, man. That's an awesome track right there, man.
I love that's my favorite ranchera ever, and my favorite version is by Linda Ronstadt. I love her. I love Linda Ronstadt. I love her version. I mean, I'm no Linda Ronstadt, right? I'm no country rolling either, but we do it our style, and it's one of my favorite songs.
Yes, he did a great job.
But the style is different. The style is very different, which makes it unique.
Yeah, because we do get that, and I know that Mary Ellen and I have talked about like radio promotions. It's like sometimes it's hard because they're like, why would we play that? That's country, and we're like, but it's in Spanish and it's Tejano country.
Yeah,
and then
but
country radio
it sounds great.
That's too Mexican, or that's too Hispanic, or that's too Tex-Mex. You know what I mean? So we always just try to find a happy medium. And for me, it's not even about getting out there and selling 1 million or streams or whatever, or streaming 1 million streams or 1 billion streams or being TikTok famous, or I'm not trying to be the next George Strait or anything like that. At this point, I love music. It's my life. And I am trying to release some new stuff. We're getting ready to release some new stuff and take it in my thing is I'm trying to find a way to keep my granddad's legacy going and be true to him and my roots. But I'm not just Country Rollins' grandson who sings Country Rollins songs and kind of sounds like him, you know, because I do get that a lot. Like you sound just like your granddad, which I don't think I do at all, you know. But we've got some really good stuff coming out. I know y'all are gonna like that stuff.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more Texas country, a little bit country. But I've got the bilingual stuff. I've got the Tex-Mex, and I've got, you know, the Spanish country. That is just gonna be a big mixture of a lot of what I am. You know, I think my granddad would be proud that I'm doing that also, like trying to pave my own way, you know, and leave my own mark. Because let's face it, he was the founder of Tejano country music. I can't do that. You know, he did that. And it's just about giving him his props and giving him his due diligence, because sometimes that does go unnoticed, you know. So it's about keeping his legacy going.
Isn't it
Sharing it with the new
amazing?
generations.
Go ahead, Mary Ellen.
I think he has received like some awards through like the Roots. What is it? The
Tejano Roots. He was inducted to the Tejano Roots Hall of Fame. He was inducted to the Edinburgh Walk of Fame. The Pain Arena has a Walk of Fame as well. I mean, before the TMAs or the TTMAs, it was the Mike Chavez Awards, and he won several awards. You know, Band of the Year, Chicano Country Band of the Year, Pioneer. You know, stuff like that. So, I mean, he is recognized by the Tejano music industry as the founder of Tejano country music. So, I guess basically that's what really matters, right? Is that he is recognized by the Tejano Music Association.
Exactly, and his music lives on, you know, for generations to come.
Yeah.
And
Not only that, we're fusing two languages together, and it's sounding amazing.
love that. I love that because that's how we talk.
Right, and you know what? He did that at a time where the Valley was very segregated. Back in the early 70s, it was still very segregated. You had the Gringos, you had the Mexicanos, you had the Anglos, and you had the Mexicans. You know, and you show up to a country roll and dance at the Civic Center where they were doing the Baile Grandes or La Via Real, and there were the Joneses with the De La Garzas and the, you know, and they were all cohesively together dancing in harmony, because my granddad didn't only do Tejano music. He sang a lot of his favorite country western songs, like by Ernest Tubb, like Walking the Floor Over You, you know, Marty Robbins, Singing the Blues, Every Fool Has a Rainbow, you know, Merle Haggard, George Jones. He did a lot of that stuff. And the girls too, they grew up in an era where Connie Smith, and I don't know if you're familiar with some of these artists because they're from way back in the day when it was honky tonk music. Connie Smith, Loretta Lynn. You know, my mom was 12 years old singing "You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man" by Loretta Lynn.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Gordy used to sing "Take the Ribbon from My Hair." You know, "Help Me Make It Through the Night," that Chris Christopherson song. She used to do it. You know, "Si Quieres Verme Llorar." Also, you know, they used to think that she wrote it and she was the one who recorded it. She's like, no.
Oh my
gosh,
you know, I did not know that. I love that song. Such a beautiful
Gordy
song.
actually, and the right in 1980, I think the album was released. She recorded Romeo Sanchez wanted her to. He translated that Gloria Gaynor song "I Will Survive" in it was bilingual, and they got into the studio and they recorded it, and they did it kind of like a folky country pop disco, you know, Spanish bilingual thing. And that song charted in Mexico, and I'm talking about South America. It held top 10 positions for weeks and weeks on end, you know. So and we didn't even know, like they were over here just gigging, you know. It was very rare that we had to go far from the Valley, because my granddad for 4 years was booked from South Padre Island, from Brownsville all the way to Laredo. And then occasionally they'd get together with Roberto Pulido or Little Joe or other artists, and they'd go all together like a little cluster to Houston or San Antonio, and they'd do gigs like that with each other, you know, like 2 or 3 artists. But my granddad also toured, the family toured Mexico with Juan Gabriel, Rocio Rucal. You know, they had the opportunity to do shows with heavy Mexican artists like that, you know, and then tour the bordering states, New Mexico, stuff like that.
That is so awesome. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So let me ask you a question that I've been asking some artists on here. Is there an opportunity for a story on your grandfather's legacy and maybe it becoming film in the future?
Well, we have been approached. Of course, it just talks throughout the years, but we've been talking ourselves about getting funding to do a documentary on our own, and put it out there. I know that back in the day, there was a lot of footage that they used to do a show down here in the valley called Fanfaria Falcon, where the Falcon artists would do. And my granddad did over 100 episodes, and we're trying to get that footage because there isn't a lot of archival footage. I know I have a few short little archival clips like from 1982, 83 out on our digital, on our social media circles, right? But I'm trying to get that stuff because I feel like that is very important for the documentation. You know what I mean? Because he is in a lot of books as far as our music and our culture. And when it gets to the Tejano country, the Chicano country, it says, Country Rollins' impact was big on that, but there's not enough information. So we're just trying to get that. Like I said, get his due diligence. So it's
That's
tough.
right.
Trying to get the things you need, but we're working on it, and hopefully, someday soon we'll. But yeah, definitely. Like I want that to happen. I want some kind of documentary.
This would be an amazing story to let everybody know where Tex-Mex started.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
and
yeah.
just the backstory alone, just the because nobody wants a whitewash story, right? Just the anybody who knows our family knows that it's gonna have to be like a 200 episode novela or something on Netflix.
Or maybe it can become a series.
Right, it'll be a series or
Ooh,
something, man. There's
sounds
so
like
much story
a
to
good
tell.
idea.
I mean, we're always joking that, and I just said it at work today. I was like, "Damn, man, I need cameras following me around. I would probably have a hit reality show because there's never, unless I'm sleeping, there's never a dull moment in my life."
Well, can you imagine all that, everything that went on, and how many years was it 50, 40 years, or
Yeah.
for your granddad? How long
Well,
did
he got started when he was super young. He used to manage a gasoline station, and he had a young man who was he would go out and pump the gas, right? And he also was a mariachi. He did mariachi music, and he played the guitar. And one day, this man pulls up in a convertible, and he had this beat up guitar in the back seat. And the kid was pumping gas, and he looks at my granddad. And he says, ask him if what he's gonna do with that guitar." So my granddad asked him, and he's like, "You can have the thing. It's trash." And they had to get pliers and tune it because it didn't even have the tuning pegs on it. But my granddad would sit there when it was slow, business was slow, and he said it was slow a lot. And the gentleman would pick the guitar, and my granddad would sing, and that, his love for the music started when he was a young boy in Flint, Michigan, but he started learning how to play guitar. He took a few lessons. My grandmother used to iron and clean houses to save up. She saved up money like that to buy him his first guitar, and my grandmother was a big driving force of the
So
band.
your
as
grandpa
well.
was from Flint, Michigan?
No, he's from Falfurrias, Texas. He was born in Falfurrias, Texas. When he was about 4 or 5, I think he relocated to Remolino, Texas. And then around the age of 8, they moved to Flint, Michigan, and they were working in the sugar beet fields. And at the age of 11, he was driving the truck from the field to the bodega, hauling the.
Oh my
He was a truck driver at the age of 11. So
You
that's
do
how,
have a lot of stories. Yes,
Oh
this
man,
sounds
yeah,
like a
there's
series.
a lot of. Yeah, it is definitely a series.
Well, the good thing is that he came back to Texas, and now we're here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good thing he did.
Did he ever imagine that he would be doing music and start a whole new genre of music? Really?
Well, I know he said several times that I'm recalling an interview that he did one time, and I was there with him, and he said that he didn't have any plans of doing it. He just knew that he loved music, and he didn't have a formula, and he didn't, we just got up there, and he got up there and he played, and he did what he loved. And to be honest with you, the very first album they ever recorded, it sat on the shelves at a label for a little while, because when he shopped it around, they told him, "No, la raza no gusta estas sonsonetes." And my granddad says, "Pues, my people love it, and I got the songs that are on this album, Hace un año, Juan Charrasqueado, songs like that. I have to do them at least 2 or 3 times at a night at my gigs, So it sat there for a little while. They didn't do anything with it, so they released it, I think, on their own. And this label that he had shopped it to, they ended up seeing the popularity, and they brought him back, and they said, "Come and record for us." So he stayed with them for years, and he did that. But he didn't. He always said that he didn't have the plan to do it. It just, he just got up there and did it. Everything always just happened like that for us, and it still to this day does. It doesn't matter how long we plan something out or how we plan it to happen. It always happens in God's time and in the way God wants it to happen. So
Sure
I just learned that we don't even have set lists, man. We get up there, we have 1,000 songs, and every night you're going to hear the same ones, but you're going to hear them in different orders, and we don't tell the same jokes. Some people have everything down, like every word they're going to say is scripted in between each song. And no, man, we get up there and it's always, like I said, you're going to hear what you're going to hear, but it's always going to be, just random and it's never the same. It's always different.
And sometimes that randomness does create art.
Well, yes, it really does. And it's inspiring. And for me on stage, when the crowd is into it like this, like we get this a lot, but especially at Raymondville in Willacy County this past weekend that we hadn't been there for a while, there was electricity in the air, everybody was into it. So it inspires us. And then we're doing a little bit, you want to do more and you want to do better, so there's been times where my granddad's gigs were dictated completely by the crowd. Like every song we played, they yelled it out, and we've experienced that too. We've played shows like at festivals, and they're yelling the songs out, and we can't even sing them fast enough. And we that's why we don't ever have a set list. It never works out. Well, I always jump off the set list 2 or 3 songs in it. I'm like, nope, we're gonna go this way, and we go that way, and it just happens the way it happens.
And with that, we're gonna take a little break. I think Hen Dog is ready to play that video for everybody.
A la máquina. We got it going on, man. Hay que darles también que por estar encendidas. Si piensas abandonarme, mejor quitarme la vida. Alza los ojos a verme. Si no estás comprometida, hay que darle también tiempo de estar encendidas. Si piensas abandonarme, mejor quitarme la vida. Alza los ojos a verme. Si no estás comprometida, pero sabe Castilla que soy mayor se ve. Quisiera ser quien me indique, pero la verdad no sé. Si tienes quien me vuelve, mejor me separaré. Oh, here we go. This really sounds like a birthday. Que vives en el capullo, ay que tristeza me da cuando te llenas de orgullo. Vuelve a mi corazón enredado con el tuyo. Por ahí va la despedida, chilena por sus amores. La perdición de los hombres son las bonitas mujeres. Aquí se acaban cantando los versos de los laureles. Dolores Here's one my granddad recorded a famous cover of a song by Buck Owens, and he put it in. He was a truck driver. He mixed in some Spanish verses with his English, and we're going to do it for you tonight. If I knew a truck stop in Texas, gonna be open his sky, dropping, watching for the light, stop buscando el chicano, truck driving man. So for me, love is just all we
For it's the best in the land. I'll put a quarter in the future and play that truck driving man. Get it back. My track is on the drum. Noche salido del valle, con una cara que paga muy bien. Mañana pescado en Chicago, y ahí para LA.
What an awesome performance there.
It sure is.
Thank you.
And that was at the CMA of Texas right here. What was the name of the place? Dozy? Was it Dozy? Oh,
the Dosey Do, the famous Dosey Do, famous country music artist played there.
Yes, it's a
the CMA's open doors for us as well. We met Miss Penny Gilly. She has the Penny Gilly Show on RFD TV. It's a nationally syndicated country music variety show, and she met the night before when we were doing the meet and greet and whatnot, and the pre-mixers. We did some songs, and as soon as I stepped off, her producer came and said, "Penny loves your voice, and we want to book you to tape this coming season of the show." So I was invited to tape that too, and man, I was received so well. It was so great to feel that love. Everybody was like, "Where the hell have you been hiding, boy? Like, you're pretty damn good." So we went to Fort Worth there, and we taped the show at it was called Little Red's Longhorn Saloon. It was right across from Billy Bob's. And they aired the show, and they asked me back. So yeah, they asked us back for next season.
That was in Fort Worth, Texas. So that was awesome. A great experience. It's a beautiful place over there. Met a lot of artists because they did like 2 days worth of taping, right?
Oh yeah, they taped their whole season in 2 days. They started 12 noon. And I mean, even with being pushed back and they ended up, I think, because it was the first Monday of February, they ended up until like 2 or 3 in the morning taping. So we got in around 5, and we sent them the music, and the band. They have a band, the band learned it, and they backed me up, and it was great. It was a great experience, one of the better experiences I've had in my life. So we look forward to being back soon, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and we have a video of that. Hand dog, are you ready for that?
I'm getting it downloaded right now. Working
so we're gonna talk a little bit more.
Okay.
We're gonna talk a little bit more about that. It was a really great experience. It felt good. It felt good to get that recognition. I posted when they aired it on RFD TV, and I was able to take the single that we were promoting at the time, which was called Llorad, Llorad, Cry and Cry Again, which actually was a song. My granddad wrote the Spanish version, and that was the first song he ever recorded, was Llorad, Llorad. So we recut it, but Gordy and Judy and I wrote the English version to it. So when I was there at the Penny Gilly Show, we were able to do a little bit of the bilingual. And when I posted the video on my TikTok, in 2 days, I got like 25,000 views. And I was like, what? Wow. And then just the comments of the love and the support, people from all around the world. It's amazing with the technology and social media today, how far you can reach. I mean, you're basically global, So to get those comments from people all over the place that didn't know little old me, it's different from your hometown because they got to love you, right? Like everybody loves you and they support you, but people who didn't know my backstory or know who I was, actually, hundreds of comments and hundreds of saves, people saving the video and reaching out and opening more doors, because it's opened a lot of more doors for us as well.
Mm-hmm. I know. I told Rennie, I said, he's good enough. He should be playing over there in Nashville. They're so good. The whole band, and they use some of the best musicians and everything. So it sounds amazing.
Yeah. We're blessed.
Well, the sound of your music is definitely different, and you've gained a fan here. So I'll be listening to your music.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we get it. Like, it's country, but it's not 100%. And it's Mexican, but it's not 100%. You know what I mean? It's a hybrid. And, a lot of people, go ahead.
More than that, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different,
Yeah.
and different is good because you're not listening to the same patterns of the music, the same notes.
Right.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, Rock and Roll James, he said, and real quick because I forgot to do this earlier, I want to give a shout out to my head of production, Rick Villa. He's listening, and to my compadre, his cousin, his primo, Casey Cavazos. They're watching, they're listening. I love you guys, man. Thank you for all the love and support and everything you do for us. Also to Hell's Bells, my sponsor of Western Wear. I gotta do it. I love you guys. Thank you. But
That's a team right
rock
there.
and roll, yeah, that's our team. And Mary Ellen, thank you so much for everything. And my mom and my aunt, everybody. You know, I'll spend all day
Yes.
thanking everybody. And I tell everybody I'm blessed because without this team, I wouldn't be, you know, where I'm at. Like without my band, I'm nothing. I'm just plugging on a guitar, you know, trying to make noise. Without sound, without Rick, you can't hear me, you know. So, and then people like my compadre Casey, you know, he books us for his events all the time, for his family events. So we're blessed, you know. But Rock and Roll James said one time he introduced us at an event. And he goes, you know, the one thing that these guys have, and I don't mean to sound cocky because I'm not that. He's like, they've got originality, and that'll win out every time, you know. And I'll hold him to that, and he knows it's true. So it's just, I'm very blessed to be part of something that my granddad created. And everybody knew he was always the star, but it was the family. You know, my mom has a style of bass playing that is hybrid as well. My mom's the first female bass player in La Onda, you know, like who can claim that, you know?
Right.
So,
That's right.
you know, and then Gori with her harmonies, and my aunt, you know, everybody had their part that made this sound that a lot of people try to duplicate and they never can, you know. So it's a blessing, you know. It's something special. It's a you know, it's heaven for us, you know. So.
That's right. And Doug, are we about ready now?
I
Or
was about to ask.
We're not ready. He goes a little bit of something like this.
Made a promise I'm never gonna keep. Tonight as I lie in bed, I won't cry myself to sleep. But it's so wrong the way you've done me, and I never will forget. But I know that my destiny is to cry and cry again. Now you found me sad and lonely, and without someone to hold. My life is just a bad dream where I wake up all alone. Girl, your memories always haunting me, driving me insane, reminding me my destiny is to cry and cry again. I'll skip it back. I look forward to the day when my smile won't hide my pain. I will find a true love who won't make me live in vain. And all these tears I cried in vain, no longer will I shed. But now for me, my destiny is to cry and cry again. Hoy me hice una promesa que no voy a cumplir. No llorar esta noche antes de dormir. La traición que tú me hiciste, yo nunca lo voy a olvidar. Y sé que mi destino será llorar, llorar. Yes, I know that my destiny is to cry and cry again.
That's another
So that
good
was-
one, man.
That was like behind the scenes. Mary Ellen was there with her.
I know.
So,
I'm sorry, I
as
picked
soon
the
as
wrong
we
one.
ended- No, it's all right. As soon as we left, you wanted to post it, and I was scared. I was like, I don't know if we're breaking laws or rules with their production crew or whatever, but that was a
Yeah.
little bit of behind the scenes. Yeah.
I know, we had
got
to
them.
wait.
Yeah, you can stream them on RFD TV on demand, and I've got them on our TikTok. I've got the actual from the actual show that ultra 4K quality, sound and video on
Yes.
our digital platforms, on our social medias.
The professional one looked so much better. But this, I just picked the wrong one.
So let me tell you, the music is
good.
amazing, and too bad it's Thursday because I have to work tomorrow. So it's water with your music today.
I'm drinking water. I promise.
Oh, okay. I'm not the only one then.
I know.
No, this is fun. This is fun.
Yeah, last night the lady was over here drinking wine. I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so good.
Well, it's like mini Friday tonight if you want to look at
It
it that
sure
way.
does.
So this
well,
song, that song, Llorar, Llorar, Cry and Cry Again, was released in January, correct? Is that
Yeah, both versions. We have two versions on
Spanish
digital
and
streaming.
English? Spanish
Yes.
and English. And then you released another song here recently, I think in June, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a soft release. That I don't think we put that one out to radio. We recorded it live at Mustang Lounge, and it just so happened to be good enough because it was good enough for us to put out. So I had been wanting to put out a version of this song, and we're working on a studio version. But it's called "What's a Rose." It was written by Ron Viramontes out of New Mexico back in like mid '70s, and it was covered by Carlos Guzman. He recorded it in 1978. So it also was a really big hit for my family. So we do it every now and then. And I had done it, and I think Mary Ellen or somebody was like, you should release that song.
I know,
So,
it's a beautiful song. I
we
love
went ahead and we
it.
released the live version live at Mustang Lounge. We cut that in 2018 at a show there. So that's our most recent single right now.
Yes,
What's
and
a
I
Rose?
think when I listened to it, when I first heard him, I said, "Man, it kind of reminds me of the style of Randy Rogers band and stuff." When it's playing the music, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful song." I sent it
Thank
right
you.
now to Hen Dog, but I don't know. It might
Yeah.
take him
So
a minute to
so
get that up.
we do get that a lot. Like when we recorded the tribute album, people are like, it's old but it's new, and it's country rolling but it's not country rolling because people
Exactly.
we had a different hybrid with my granddad too, and we were like, let's just change it up a little bit, and then with the elements, the people who were in that recording session, it just came out that way. But I think that I think it's great. I think we've gotten a tremendous response from it, and our fans love it. And that, first and foremost, everything that I do or we do, I want for our fans and our supporters to be proud of it, and I want them to love it. First and foremost, like they gotta love it, and if they don't, we're doing something wrong because it's for them. We're keeping my granddad's legacy going, but it's actually because of our supporters and our fans that we are who we are. And we love them very much. Without them, we wouldn't be here doing this, and
Exactly.
they push us. They push us to keep going, and to do it. Because sometimes it's not easy. It's hard,
It's hard.
but we keep doing it. Yeah.
Well,
It was a very emotional. It was a very emotional thing at the beginning because of my granddad. I was always having out of body experiences on stage at the beginning right after his death. Kind of singing his stuff. Sometimes I'd hear him singing with me, and goosebumps or just break down and like cry so hard that I couldn't even sing, or go to cry, or my mom we just start crying, and it took a little while to get over that. And every once in a while it hits, it hits, and we'll cry. But you know what? I'm not embarrassed. I always tell everybody, I don't care. You see me crying, I don't care. So we cry, and people cry with us. People come up and tell me stories like, "Oh, you don't know what your granddad meant to me," and they start telling me a story, and I'm blessed because it's like, wow, that I am so lucky. I am so lucky that I get to stand here on this earth and listen to these stories, and that these people love me enough to share that with me. So it's a great.
Could
thing.
you share one of
It's
those
a great thing.
stories with?
I did have. I mean, stories like I was at a store one time and this lady came up that I didn't even know, and she's like, I know who you are, and I was like, okay, and I'm a little like, whoa, freaked out, because no matter how much you've been in the public eye, and it is a very public thing, I'm still not used to the recognition that I get. Like sometimes I'm like, why are they staring at me? Like, oh, I mean, okay, I'm a big dude, right? Like I'm humongous, I'm a monster, right? But and I can't hide behind anything, but you know, people look and they know us, and sometimes they'll even come up and ask for autographs. So she just came up and she started crying, and I was like, are you okay? And she's like, you don't know how much that man meant to me, your granddad. His music gave me hope. I was suicidal a lot, and I would play his 45s and his albums, you know. I never shared that with anybody, but just stories like that, you know, that
It touches you.
they come up
right?
randomly, and it's like, wow, you know, or they just start crying. Grown men, you know. The first time I went out, we went to a local club here called Hillbillies that is my stomping ground for many years, and my cousins decided to go out, and we went out, and we walked in, and it took me an hour just to get to my spot because it was packed, and everybody took their hats off and put them on their chest and just parted the crowd so we could walk through, and came up and gave us our condolences. And I'm talking about manly men that I've known my whole life, bawling and crying, you know, because of the love and respect they had for my granddad. That was very touching. I couldn't handle it. We had to leave. You know, it was a very emotional thing. But it's just stuff like that, you know, stories
Those
like
are
that.
amazing stories.
People were born in the parking lots of Country Rolling Dance. They never conceived. We get that a lot. My parents could see me in the parking lot of the Via Real. They couldn't even.
You're like, TMI.
TMI. We get that. I get that a lot. I also get. We met at a Country Rolling Dance, and we got married, and he played for our wedding, quinceañeras, stuff like that. I mean, the thing about us is that these followers, these friends, these supporters, they followed for years. If my granddad in the band in 1978 or 1981 got in the bus and drove to San Antonio to go play a gig over there, you know that half of that crowd caravan from the Rio Grande Valley, and filled up half the place. That's the way it always was.
Support him.
And
That's awesome.
they're like family. Like we people come see us to this day, and they're remembering, you know, it's a very touching thing, that they milestones, important tragedy in their life. You know, they had relief because of my granddad's music or because of us. Like we share a very special bond with our crowd, with our followers, with our supporters. It's a very touching thing. It's like we're just one big happy family. You know, we've been through a lot. Like, you know, people that went to every single dance. If my granddad played Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, those same people were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know. So it is a very touching thing. We get a lot of stories. We get a lot.
We need the series. We need the series.
Well, from your mouth to God's ears to some producer, somebody with big, deep pockets can do it.
Exactly. You never know who's listening, huh?
Right.
You never know.
Right.
Manifest it.
Someday.
Yes. And Rennie, for people that want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of Kicker Daddy Legacy to book you for events and everything?
Right off the bat, they can reach us at 956-802-7733. That's my manager's phone number, who is Aurora. She also is in the band with us. That's my aunt, Aurora Gori. We call her Gori. She manages us. You can drop us, if you follow us on TikTok. I had somebody made a comment last night, like, I need some pricing. I need to book you guys. And I was like, contact my manager. Like, I'll take the time to respond, you know, but just shoot us an email, shoot us on Facebook, you know, anything. KickerDaddyRecords@gmail.com. That's the easiest one. I know Gori has another one, but just right off the top of my head. And it's KIKKER, KickerDaddyRecords@gmail.com. And we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or call her, send her a text message. We're like that. Like, well, that's like, hey, what's going on? You know?
That's right. That's right. So, and hopefully we'll be having some new music out here soon, right?
Definitely. And we're rounding the corner on a few things. We're working on we're in the beginning phases. We have a lot of music, but we're doing another not a tribute, but kind of like volume 2, I guess a tribute. We're going to do some more country rolling stuff. And then I'm going to release some stuff, some of my own, show everybody what I can do. People hear me sing something different from country rolling. They're like, wow, boy, you can sing, and I'm like, well, they're used to hearing me sing "Estoy en el rincón" in that cantina or something like that, right? So
Rennie, and
But
tell
yeah,
them
we
where
just
you're
mixed up.
playing. Where are you going to be playing here? Soon?
This Saturday we're gonna be at Ranch House Burgers in Mission, Texas. We love playing there. That's our backyard. We love you, Mike and Christy. They're like family. The whole place. It's just like one big happy family. And then we got a private booking the weekend after that in San Isidro, Texas. And then we're gonna be in El Sauz, Texas for their Cactus County Festival. We'll be playing with the Homeboys. I think, yeah, the Homeboys.
Okay. Awesome.
And then we got some pending stuff. We might be at Silverado soon. I want Lucky Joe to take me on tour with him. Let me open the shows.
So if Black Joe is listening, you heard it here.
We'll just put that out in the world. We'll put that in
Right,
existence.
exactly.
Right.
Speak it to existence, right? So are we ready for that song, Hen Dog?
You got it. You got it. You got it. Take it
Take it
away,
away.
Toyota.
And this is What's a Rose?
Yeah.
What's a rose?
Should be up and running. What the heck is going on here? What's a rose? It's coming up just
¿Qué es una
shortly, man.
rosa? ¿Qué es una rosa?
And it goes a little bit of something like this. Hopefully it gets queued up. It goes like this. That's right. Take your daddy to Vegas, man.
Gonna take this on the rig. Take it back to the early 80s. A mujer, dame tu amor. Son tus labios que son de flor. Ruegues sin razón que me quebras el corazón. What's a rose when the petals fall? No, it's not a rose at all, but a part of a fading memory. Just a stem naked in the night. It's lived its life in one long night, touched by all and filled by some, hoping that in tomorrow's sun it be. I see the rose growing every day. I was there when the wind blew the petals away. Braving the storm of a lonely night, hoping to find calm early light. Como la rosa, en su tiempo brota. Te lo juro en mi corazón que para mí no es nada. What's a love when your lover's gone? Feeling like you don't belong. Everything you do is wrong. What can I say? Share your thoughts with the dark of night. Be they will give in light. Everything will be alright in the morning. I guess that love will always find its way. Seeming might be blinded by the light of day. a mujer, dame tu amor. Son tus labios que son de flor. No me dejes sin razón, que me quebras el corazón.
Esto.
What's a rose? Gracias.
That's right, man. Ready, rolling, man. Kicker Daddy Legacy, man. What's a rose, man? What an awesome track, man.
Gracias, brother. Thank you. I
You
love
have
that
an
song
amazing
since I was little.
voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I try. No lessons. Just getting up there and opening my mouth. I don't know if I'm doing it right or not.
You
But
sure
thank
are.
you. Gracias. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. We got some more coming up soon. Yeah, we got some new stuff coming up.
Mm-hmm. Such a beautiful song. So that one is available on digital platforms too. So if you like what you heard, make sure you download it. Make sure you follow Kicker Daddy Legacy on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all social
And
media.
Rini Roland. Yeah, Rini Roland. Also,
Oh, Rini Roland,
I'm
yes.
also, yeah, I do a little different on my Rini Roland TikTok. That's a little bit more personal. I just cut up and act like a clown and try to post funny things. I don't know if people laugh or not, but but you know,
I'm sure they
just trying
do.
to find that one that's gonna go viral.
On the Kicker Daddy, you got to be the professional Rini Roland, and
Right.
on your page, you can be yourself, right?
Well, yeah. Well, it's snowballing. Like Snapchat was real personal, but now it's not. It's everything's getting out of hand, and I'm getting a lot of people. So now I got to really watch what I post because Snapchat was where I would cut up, with the personal stuff. But now I got to behave sometimes.
I know. I look at the Snapchats and I see Rini had how many notifications on there. But I usually I don't even use Snapchat really. Every once in a
Right.
while I may jump in there, but for the most part, TikTok, that's where I live.
Well, that's why I posted. That's why I posted a little clip of Fragile on there because I was like, in 24 hours, it's it'll go away. So they
I
might think they saw it and
know. I
then be
wish
like, no, you
I
didn't.
couldn't find it. I
Oh,
couldn't
man,
So
find
that when you
it's just
posted it on Snapchat?
Mhm.
I posted it actually on my Facebook page. I think on Kicker Daddy it's there, but it's probably there's been a lot of stuff that's
Great.
come up since I
Yeah.
posted it. But let
Yeah,
me see
because
real quick if I can find it.
I
It's
went
just probably
back to
just the
like
music. Yeah,
yeah,
And
because
this is
the little clip that I posted, I didn't put any of the words in it because I didn't want to give it away because I really, oh man, I'm really bad. I don't either say anything or I say too much, right? So I didn't want to get the cat out of the bag too soon, but it's been 9 months really, so like I just got to get it out there, right? So okay, so it's out there. Everybody knows that I'm releasing the next version, the countrified version of Fragile. So hopefully,
and you said it
those
here.
fans- yeah, I said it here first, right? A New Mexico radio talk show, and hopefully, it is a kind of scary thing because it's like, are the fans that love that song and the style that it is, are they gonna love it this style, or are they gonna say you really screwed that song up? You know what I mean? It's a fine line you got to walk. They're either gonna love it or I'm gonna have to pull it down.
oh
I'm
my
sure
gosh.
it's going to be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think you can go wrong.
I'm trying to find a little clip, but man, it's
I
because
know.
I haven't finished the. I didn't put the vocals because I hadn't finished them yet. They're scratched. So I was like, if people hear me, they might think that it's not great until I put the final. Like
And
Marilyn said earlier, man, I will go back and forth 100 times before I put something out. So
yes,
I don't know.
but I said I'm the cheerleader. I'm always like trying to
Definitely.
encourage him. It's like don't think about it so much, just do it.
Right,
But
right, yeah.
I love the fact that we talk about what his ideas are and stuff like that. So that's one thing. It's like he definitely keeps me in the loop with everything that he's got going
Oh,
on,
for
and I love
sure,
that.
because I value your opinion a lot, and I know that you're not going to tell me just like my mom. She's gonna be like, "Oh, son, that's great," but she's my mom, right? Like, I'm not saying that she doesn't have good taste. Like my mom, she's got great taste, but I'm kind of like, I feel like, well, you're my mom. You're gonna say that regardless because you love me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
so
Because you're
sometimes
supposed
I
to.
do have. I do have friends that are harsh, man, you know. But like I said, the few people that I have showed the song to, they're like, you need to get that out fast, get it out fast, get it out fast. They want me to send them like I found it. It's
found
way
it?
down on my, it's way down on my,
I know. I'm over here listening to some of the recordings. Some
yeah,
of the.
it's way down on my page on my since like when did I push? I posted it in May 1st. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's down there. Maybe y'all can go in and check it out. I should have been more prepared and had
Well,
a
I
little,
sent you
little
a friend
copy for you.
request, and I'll be looking at your stuff.
Awesome. Great. And you can like Mariana said, you can follow us on Kicker Legacy as well. I tell everybody just request me to be my friend, but my personal page I turned it into like a page where you can follow now. I think you can still send friend requests, but like I said, it's growing. So my Facebook, my private Facebook is not private anymore. So everybody that goes to my gigs that wants to follow us, they follow me there too. So.
And I think that's
But-
really important, even though it's your private page. I always try to tell the artists, it's like, make sure when you're sharing your music, make sure have it open to the public, because you never know who's gonna hear your music, and you want as many people to be able to hear it and to share it. That's the
Yeah.
most important part, because I remember I would post stuff and then people wouldn't share it. But when you really get a lot of people listening is when people are sharing it. That's the most important.
Right.
And if you're not allowing people to share it, you're not going to, go very far. In other words.
Well, I'll
Keep
tell you
saying
one
it,
thing.
but-
When I posted Llorar Llorar from the Penny Gilly show, the professional clip on my TikTok, and in 2 days it went to 25 views and like hundreds and hundreds of shares and saves and likes, I was blown away. And then again, when you posted the clip of Lucky Joe and I singing El Quelite, and like in 2 days it was at 30,000 views. I was like,
Wow.
wow.
Mhm.
Blown
So
away.
we
Blown
got
away.
something right there, right? We got
Well,
something.
you know what? I truly believe, and I know you all will agree with me. Like, everything does happen for a reason. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie. When Lucky Joe, he gave a little introduction, and I was blessed for that. He's a very humble dude. Like, I know him from the business, but not really personally. But the few interactions that I've had lately with him, I will tell you, like, he's humble. He's a very down to earth guy, and that he gave me that introduction and called me up on his stage. He called me up on his platform and said, "Hey, dude, let's sing some songs, whatever you want to do," And he even sang with me, and I was like, "Wow, this is awesome!" Not only is it the first time that I actually get to do a gig where Lucky Joe's headlining, I got the opportunity to open the whole night for him, and then he called me up there. It was magic. It was magic, man. We were having a great time. So
Yes.
I am very blessed for that. I'm blessed for that, and the proof that you're at over 30,000 views on that video and a bunch of shares and likes and comments. I mean, people have got to like it, right? Or they wouldn't be sharing or commenting or viewing it. So
Yes.
we're blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed for that.
I think it was something different, like Irma says, and it's something different
'Cause-
for them.
Yeah, because it wasn't Kicker Daddy Legacy singing a song. I got up there with Lucky Joe and his band. And it was like norteño, conjunto, tejano, Tex-Mex country. It was like another
Oh, how
creation
awesome.
right then and there, and I loved it. I loved it. So who knows? Who knows what'll happen in the
Yeah.
future?
Who knows what ideas you'll get, and then give us the ideas, and maybe we can do something in the future with all of these artists that are coming up.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Well,
of
I
new
am
people
very
coming up.
blessed. I am very blessed for the opportunity to be on your show. Thank you all for having me on here, man.
Oh,
It is a
anytime,
big
brother.
blessing.
Anytime.
Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you for allowing me this
you
platform.
taking the time.
Yeah. Yep. We've gotten a couple calls from New Mexico, so I'm blessed. And you're opening the door for us even más, more.
You
So
also
thank you
used
so
to
much.
play in New Mexico, right? Or your grandpa did he used to play?
Yes, I know that he did several gigs over there. He did some really big Coliseum, like auditorium gig, like tours. Like, I don't even know exactly what, but I think it was around the time that he was signed to Lone Star Beer in the early '80s as spokesperson. And the band did commercials and radio and TV commercials for Lone Star. They were signed for years. It was like a big corporate deal. And I know that I think, if I'm not mistaken, that opened that door there también. I'm not sure, like, for them to do that, but
Well, we
Yeah,
need
man,
to
he was
ask
legit.
Linda to put
He was
in a
legit.
good word for you over there in New Mexico. Okay.
All
He
right.
just got back from the what is it, Lordsburg?
Yeah, I just got back from the Lordsburg Tejano Fiesta back on Monday, man. They had a Labor Day weekend show
Yeah.
out there. It was a Saturday and Sunday, man. And I mean, I think population is probably like 1,200 people, probably. I mean, give or take.
Wow.
I mean, there's probably like 3,000. I mean, in total because of the weekend,
Right.
pero or the fiesta, pero. I mean, you know, Robert Gonzalez has been putting that show on for I think the last 15, 16 years or so, man. And each year gets better, man. He did a norteño year, which did okay, man. He spiced it up a little bit and brought some norteños in, and then came back with some Tejano and norteño this coming year. And he brought Lucky Joe, he brought Metal
Yeah.
with Chris Perez, he brought Control, he brought a lot of Denise Los Brillantes, he brought Conjunto Diferencia. I mean, he brought a lot of different acts, man. It was an awesome showdown, man. And then there's some young kids, man, that opened up on, I think on Sunday, man. They're Los Moritos del Norte. They're like 11, 12 years old, and they're really, really
Wow.
good, man. So, I mean,
Wow.
it's just a lot of talent, man. It's crazy, man. I mean, this is probably like our third or fourth time going to that show, man. And we're just like, wow, this little old town gets popping like that. I'm like, wow.
Right. Well, let me tell you one thing. I would love to have the opportunity to go and share our music over there. So if he's listening and he likes it, give us a call. Anybody,
That's
give us a
right.
call. We'll go over there. We'll go share our
Yes.
music over there.
Yes. Well, I think you know, it's getting a little late. Past my bedtime.
Rennie, where are you located at?
I'm in Mission, Texas. I'm in the Rio Grande Valley. We're about 10 minutes north of the Mexican border.
Oh, okay. Well, I live next to the border as well. I live in El Paso.
Oh,
that's right.
I've been to El Paso one time in my life and I loved it. We actually went to go play a gig in oh my God, Las Cruces, New
Las
Mexico. We did a
Cruces.
private party. And
Wow.
going through El Paso and coming back, I was like, it's desert, but I love it. I think I just love being on the road with my granddad.
By any chance,
Exactly.
did you try Chico's Tacos?
No, this was way back. I think I was like 20 or 19 or 20, but no, I didn't try Chico's Tacos, but I know that everybody was telling us in Las Cruces, you all brought the heat with you because it hasn't been this hot in like years. Like, it was a heat wave, and I was just like, damn, dude, it was hot.
Yeah, you should have said we're hot.
We're hot. We brought the heat.
That's right. That sounds
Yeah,
like
it was fun.
fun.
It was a fun time. So hopefully we'll be
So-
back. We can be out in that area, in the near future.
Hopefully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Call him, get him out there.
Shoot me a call, man. Shoot me a message, man. We'll do some work, man. I'm always, sending it out to the event promoters and stuff like that, man. And
Cool,
I'll always tell artists, man, get a promo video going on, man. And
Yeah,
those help a lot. I was mentioning that to Mary Ellen the other day. Promo videos help out a lot, man. And that's a little sneak
Yeah.
peek of other live performances, man. A minute and a half or 2 minute show, man. It's kind of like we do little promos here. Like we did the little slideshow for you guys, and we got our own little promo video for us también too. So I mean, it's all networking, man, and just helping each other out, man.
Yes, sir. That's what it's about. I've always said, if I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you. That's the one thing for sure.
Exactly.
I'll do, I might not have much, but whatever I can do, I will definitely do for you if I believe in you. You know what I mean? And I think, growing up with my granddad, he taught us well, because my granddad would give you the shirt off his back. So he loved everyone.
Yes.
He sounds like he was an amazing man.
He really was. He really, really was, man. We got a lot of great memories. So, and I know he'd be so happy right now that the fourth generation. And he said that in several interviews that it brought him happiness knowing that the country rolling legacy would live on through generations and generations of his grandkids. So we got the fourth generation. We've got the fifth generation already. So. They're there.
True.
And it continues.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
the
The
legacy lives
legacy. Yes, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you were able to join us, Renee.
Thank you so much for having me once again.
And,
Once again, Rainy, Roland, Kicker Daddy Legacy, man. I do want to say thank y'all from the bottom of our hearts on the New Mexico Radio Talk Show.com. just want to say thank y'all so much, man. Hopefully we did a great job, man. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but hopefully we got it underway for you guys, man. And I got some lovely hosts, man, that are able to take over and they do their job, and I just get to sit back and relax and enjoy the show and listen to the questions and comments. But I do want to say thank you, man, and hopefully I get to see you guys soon.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, everyone, for listening,
Bye.
for watching tonight. Make sure to share if you're watching this tomorrow. Make sure you share it, okay? And make sure to download his music. Thank you so much. Good night.
No, I do want to say thank y'all. God bless. Thank you, Mary Ellen. Thank you, Idema. If I'm not mistaken, I think Idema's got a brand new single coming out soon, man, on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
And it'll get
on the
released by Hendel
20th.
Promotions, man. So all your DJs,
All right.
all your program directors and podcasters and all you music affiliates and FMAM, don't hesitate, man, to shoot us your emails if you haven't got the new song just yet, man. It will be out on the 20th of this month, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yay, I can't wait.
be on the lookout, man. Big shout out to Alvin for working hard on those singles he's been releasing for
Yes,
Irma
thank you,
Sabio out of
Alvin.
Chucotown, man. Ladies, any last thing before we pass out or not pass out or head out?
Yes, pass out.
I know, right? I just want to say I want to wish everybody to have a good weekend and be safe if you're out on the roads like I am going to be. Thank you all for watching again.
God bless you guys. Thank y'all so much.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.